Hey Pisces, welcome to your March 2018 reading. Thanks so much for being here. Let's go ahead and get started, okay? I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in the sky because all the attention, all the energy is on you, right? We've got, what do we have? Sun, Mercury, Venus, Neptune, and Chiron all in your sign. Happy birthday, Pisces, too, by the way. And all this Piscean stuff can really bring out people from the woodworks, you know, and I think inevitably you have a situation that you are probably predicting. You kind of already know what's going to happen if it hasn't happened already. That someone's going to come in and try to, I don't want to say deceive you per se, but I think that you've already made great strides in the realm of moving away from this situation. And this is going to be a month where you're really going to have to put your foot down, okay? I pulled out the Hierophant in this reading. Like I do these intros after I do the reading, right? And the Hierophant can be quite cutting. You know, the Hierophant can be a very cold energy. Sometimes yes, sometimes no, but in this instance, I think it is. And it speaks a lot to your need to really set those personal boundaries because with all this Piscean, Neptunian stuff, that can be a really difficult thing to do, not just for you, but for everybody. You know, we're all kind of experiencing that. Do I trust them? Do I believe them? Should I believe them? They're saying all the right things, you know, and so there's all this question. But the confusion that you are experiencing, I guarantee you, is just an illusion. It's not real. I know that you know exactly what to do. I know that you shouldn't believe them, okay? And in the comprehensive reading, you know, last month I did free comprehensive reading. They will be available for purchase on my website again this month. I know they gave people so much clarity. That was the word people kept using. Thank you, Jane, for these comprehensives. They gave me so much clarity. And I think, you know, the Hierophant, we go into much more detail about that. So to help kind of you make decisions better, I suppose. I guess we can call it that. Let's talk a little bit about the sky. We have our first retrograde of the year coming up, March 8th. Jupiter goes retrograde, sorry. And that's an important one, not only because it's a Jupiter retrograde, not only because it's in Scorpio, but it's an aspect to Pluto and also Neptune. These are all water signs, guys. And aspecting the power planet Pluto, aspecting the boundary dissolving Neptune, being in a house of deep passion and deep emotion and intensity. This is a time for personal reform, a time for us to completely rewrite our path. And I would like to maybe consider it a detoxification. Okay, this is a detox, relationship detox, bad behavior, bad habits, addiction, right? Actual addictions, things like that, to really get those things out of our system, to purify our system. It goes from March through July 10th or July 11th, I believe. So it really is a fantastic time for us to come inside and to really like get a grip on, like, come on, let's get a grip, you know, and that's going to go across the board for everybody. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start the reading. All right. And I think that's it in my notes. So that's it. Thanks guys so much. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, Pisces. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So we had the Seven of Cups come out alongside the Hierophant. So let's get started with that. Seven of Cups is, you know, it's a card of, I don't know whether it's you're not sure of how to feel about something or someone. Maybe you do have a lot of things that are kind of up in the air. Maybe you're having a difficult time really deciphering which path is really right for you, whether in career or with a significant other, or what. But, you know, this is an energy that can really be harnessed and kind of taken advantage of, right? Because it sounds like you guys have a lot of things kind of laid out right in front of you. And I normally don't see, unless like there's blatantly obvious reasons why you shouldn't do something, normally it's kind of like you have your pick of the litter. You can really do whatever is really true to your quote-unquote heart's desire. With the Hierophant coming out, I do feel like there's some consistency with your, like what you really believe. What you believe, and with all of the change that's been happening over the past 6 months, really, and kind of like we're changing, but we're stuck in this limbo and all of this. But during this time, I think a lot of us have really solidified who we are. And we know what we're going to put up with and what we're not going to deal with. We have come to a point of recognizing red flags. And so while it may feel like you have all these options, I do feel like there are maybe 1 or 2 that are kind of standing out, and they act as, you know, something that's in alignment with your belief system and your values, okay? This could also serve as a person in your life. Usually not a romantic interest, but it could be. But I usually see it more in the realm of a mentor or a friend or colleague or someone whose opinion you really respect. And this could be someone that could help guide you, maybe even a guru or a spiritual leader of some kind, right? That can really guide you to where you really need to go. It's kind of like an illusion of confusion here with this card. Like, I don't think you are actually confused. I don't know why I feel that. It's like you are creating the confusion for the sake of not wanting to act, because maybe the thing that you need to do or the thing you need to say, the thing you need to choose might seem a little bit ominous right now. But don't worry, like it's important for you to have a lot of faith in yourself. It's important for you to really know that by you standing up for your standards and your beliefs, it requires other people to reach you up there rather than you kind of coming down onto their level, okay? Let's see what else comes out. I'm going to clarify this in the comprehensive reading that I talked about in the intro. Thanks for all of those that joined me there last month too, by the way. I got really amazing feedback, and I'm just so excited to do it again this month. Okay, let's see. Yes, toxic patterns, drifting away. 5 of Swords in the reversal. You know, we can often feel that need to backtrack, you know, because it weirdly, and I know I say this all the time, but it's important for you to really kind of let it sink in that it does feel comfortable. The toxicity and the bad habits and keeping that toxic person in your life and redoing what you've already undone, you know, like I feel like you have undone something, and there's a tendency or a temptation of some kind for you to go back to the beginning and repeat that cycle all over again. Obviously, the Hierophant is much, much, much stronger than a 5 of Swords. So look, number 5, right? So this trumps the trump card. This trumps the suit card always. And luckily, we have the Major Arcana in the upright position. You are going to choose this path, right? This person, this situation, whatever it is going to arise. It is going to, but again, you're not really confused. Going to provide some confusion, but you already know what you need to do. Again, can I just keep saying the same thing over and over? The choice that you feel like you're posed with, look, if you are true to who you are, if you use other people's past behavior as a basis for your decisions, because I don't think that this person, whatever this is, I don't think they've really changed. They're exactly the same. No matter what they say, no matter what they tell you and what they promise you, keep going in the course that you are going. This is a card I often say, yes, it speaks to choices and weighing options and things like that. But more importantly than that, you need to figure out how to stop wearing all the masks that you wear and strip yourself down to the most pure and authentic version of you. And I know that when you are absolutely honest with yourself, that this is not what you want. It's not what you want. And so while there may be something that comes in and kind of screws or messes with your head a little bit, that's the most important time for you to say, like, okay, what do I really want in life? What do I really feel that I deserve? And this kind of feeling of choice is an illusion. Like this. Like, it's a very illusionary card. It's all like phantom type energy. It's not based in reality. Okay? Whoever it is you're dealing with, you obviously have some kind of a connection, but you know, the connection could very often be misconstrued as like a, you know, a karmic thing or whatever. And like, yeah, probably it was karmic, but not karmic in the sense that it was amazing and meant to last forever, but karmic in the sense that you were meant to learn something from each other. Right? And this one, you are connected. And I think in some weird way, with whatever the situation is, you see a lot of yourself in the person that you're dealing with, in the people you're dealing with, and you see kind of that reflection of who you were. And maybe who you were was someone of chaos, right? Because these are two cards that do represent chaos in my mind, in my opinion. You were a chaotic person. You were living your life in a disorganized and maybe even a self-sacrificial way. And so when you are confronted with that option now, you see it very clearly for what it is. And like I said, the options and the feeling, like, they're all just lies. It's all an illusion. The path that you are on now is absolutely the right path. The people that you have in your life are absolutely the right people. And it's easy to abandon the good because the bad feels so comfortable. And it does, like, these types of situations can be addicting in a way that a substance can be addicting. These types of situations can feel good. The rejection can feel good. The pain can feel good. And unfortunately, that's just our body chemistry, right? It's just the way that we release dopamine. It's just the way that we, psychologically, we connect with this chaos, right? But you have gone through so much and have overcome that. And now you are on a beautiful trajectory into a phase or a place in your life that promises peace and calm and tranquility, and there's no need to disrupt that. You know, the people in your life likely can sense that you are still dealing with this, and when this person or this thing arises, I know that you are going to feel torn. This is an internal battle as well, feeling torn between the past and the future. And I do feel like your support system, the people in your life, are going to know that something's wrong with you. They're going to know that there's something affecting you, even though you are likely trying to keep that secret. And it's okay for you to talk about it, but be careful about the people that you choose to lean on in this time. It's best for you to kind of conquer this in silence. And that's not normally my advice that I usually give, but I don't know why I'm seeing like talking is not our best friend right now, right? It's not our best friend. 8 of Coins coming out. You know, when this disruption occurs, it affects all areas of our life, and it causes this like lack of focus, you know, and it can carry over into our work world. And, you know, in some weird ways, it's almost as though this situation comes in and yet you try to deny its presence. You try to deny its effect on you, but you can't deny it because it just kind of creates a little bit of agitation and tension, and you might be more irritable, maybe even more moody. And, you know, you are, I know you're trying not to take it out on people, but it's possible that you could do that. It is going to show up in your work realm. It is going to show up in your world, right? The Pentacles representing our physical world. And with it being in the reversal, you know, this is a card of detail. It's a card of the mundane activities. It's a card of putting your head down and just going to work. But again, reverse, it's like the focus isn't quite there. You know, this person gets under your skin. This situation really does it's like nails down a chalkboard, as we say, right? Fingernails down a chalkboard. Just like that gritting on your nerves type of feeling. And so there's nothing you can really do to avoid that, right? I think that it's kind of an inevitability for you. But again, the stronger you stay, like this to me would represent like the straight and narrow, right? The straight and narrow that is based on love, that is based on goodness, that is based on treating yourself with self-value, you know, with self-worth and self-respect and all those things. Choosing that path and really rising above all of this stuff that seems to be trying to come in and kind of test you. And it is a test, I think, you know, it's a test of the universe. Like, okay, are they ready? Are they ready for what is coming next? And I think you are ready. I think you are. And what comes next, I think, is a huge phase shift in your life. See, it's all about possibility. I'm loving the 2s coming out here. 2 of Wands is a positive indication of growth. It's a positive indication of success. It also lends itself to visualization exercises and meditation. You know, this is a very quiet card, but it is highly potent and powerful. It has the ability to reshape your direction entirely. And you seem to be standing very firmly with 2 feet planted on the ground with the support of these wands here. And you are, I don't think, giving yourself enough credit for what you have accomplished over the last 6 months to a year. I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit for what you will accomplish in the next 6 months to the year, right? This is a future forward. This is a card of the future, right? And with the lilies and the rose, like, you are being divinely guided here. The rose is, I use the rose as my logo, right? And I talked about it when I very first started my channel. But the rose is a symbol of a channel. And there's many meanings to the rose, so this is just the one that I extracted, right? And, you know, we see the rose gardens, like Mary, Mother Mary in the Bible. You know, the angel appeared to her in the garden, her rose garden. All throughout history, the rose has been used to symbolize this sort of channelizing and this sort of connection with the divine. Well, you are Pisces. You just already are connected to the divine. And you are sensitive to that divine purpose. You are sensitive to that divine path. And you're being guided right now in very spiritual ways. The number 2 associates with the High Priestess in the Major Arcana. High Priestess is that intuitive, you know, where the veil is very, very thin between your physical world and the ethereal realm. Being very aware, very self-conscious. Not self-conscious in a bad way, but being a conscious being. Does that make sense? Let's see what else comes out here. Nine of Cups, the Judgment card, and the Empress. Look, you only got a couple reversals and they're pretty minor. Look at how beautiful these major arcanas are that you received. First of all, let's talk about the Nine of Cups, because this is what I'm talking about, that self-respect, that self-value, and that pride. You know, there's always an element of pride here. I often see this as like a trophy case, right? Because it's cups, it has to do with our emotions, so I call it the emotional trophy case. It is all of the scars and all of the battle wounds and all of the stories behind them, all of the blood, sweat, and tears that it took to earn them. You should be very, very proud of where you are now. You should be. You guys are kind of like war buddies. I think the Pisces war buddies. Whatever emotional attachments that you had to break free from, whatever toxic business partnerships and toxic clients you had to separate from, whatever family members you had to separate from. Those types of things are not easy to do. It is much easier to fall back into that pattern. You have earned the right to feel like you have accomplished something. And what's so beautiful now is when I talk about knowing where you're going, there seems to be no lack of knowing. Even, like I said, this confusion is just an illusion. You're not actually confused. And I don't know why intuitively I felt that, but I'm seeing that now you are very, very clear on where you're going. You're very, very clear on what you want in this life. And you're very, very clear on with whom you need to accomplish those things, right? Judgment is a blessing, but it represents a place of choice. It's a card that's ruled by Uranus, okay? So Uranus comes in, it's very random, it's very unexpected, and it gives you some kind of information or some kind of like light bulb that clicks on and it's like, oh, okay, now I get it, right? And it's not something that you can undo. Once you know that, once you have that information, once you have that idea, there's no getting rid of it. And so it represents a period of choice or a moment of choice where you can choose to cycle back or choose to cycle forward. But I'm not even worried about you. You're definitely choosing yourself. You're choosing yourself. And let's talk about how amazing this Empress card is right now. I see you guys are glowing. Glowing even in the face of adversary. And you seem to be sort of rising above toxicity and rising above your own undoing, right? Because when you are the 12th house ruler, or when people have planets in the 12th house, like for me, I have my Sun, Mercury, and Mars in the 12th house. So I have a lot of Piscean qualities. But that is the house of our own undoing. And it's like you're coming out of your own dark ages. And the Empress represents our rise. It's like a seed that was planted and buried underground. Like when you plant tulips, you plant your tulip bulbs in the winter or in the fall. And then in the spring they blossom. but you need that dark time. You need to be in that wintry, cold, freezing place in order for you to truly blossom. And the Empress is representing the blossom. And being Venus, she is full of love and full of appreciation and full of gratitude for what she went through. Now she's smarter, now she's stronger, now she is capable of, like, she's realizing what she's really capable of. She's realizing her true power, her true strength. Okay? She now can give love to others on an unconditional level because now she understands what love truly is. And as she breaks free from emotional attachments and toxicity, and as she conquers periods of confusion, she is then able to assist and help others. Okay? Let's pull out a few more, as I always do. Why am I not surprised? Not surprised. Oh, okay. Okay, the Magician is the alchemist. He's the one that knows how to adjust frequencies. He's the one that knows how to create love out of sadness. He is the one that knows how to connect. What did I talk about? Your connection, right? Your connection with the ethereal realm. Heightened right now. But this is a card that represents the masculine. I'm getting three kind of masculine forces right now. This is kind of like a Plutonian quality, right? It's the rise of the phoenix after the crash and burn. And it's kind of what I talked about here. You know, the masculine influences are so important for us. They speak to the creation part, right? When we talk about the creation of the universe, you know, the female is the breath and the male is the tone. But ultimately it is the divine feminine that creates the universe, but the masculine that generates its contents, if that makes sense. So it's like you're in that more masculine role right now, where now you have to take steps, now you have to take action in order to create this world that you're visualizing for yourself. And it is an action-oriented time. It's not a time of sitting and being quiet and meditating, and no, like, it's a matter of doing and feeling inspired to be creative and then actually creating those things. So I'm going to clarify actually this Emperor here in the comprehensive reading. Obviously, I'm going to clarify these in the comprehensives, this one. So there's going to be a lot more content that comes out if you want to join me on the website. Link is down below for you guys. Okay, it's like cheap, right? I wanted to make it where if you didn't want to have a $70 or $100 or $150 private reading to really get more content, more context into your situation, that you could just like forego that and just spend a few bucks and get a lot more detail. And again, I had such amazing feedback last month about how much clarity the extended or the comprehensive readings gave. So I think that it could be beneficial for some of you who might be feeling a little bit stuck here in this particular situation, okay? All right, you guys, I will see you on the website. Thank you so much. Take care.